Okay, for question 11 of the madasmaths.com MP1 series, paper N, part A, if x is a real number, solve the following indicial equation. Okay, x times by all of that squared, which is x to the half minus 2x to the minus half. Wicked. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this down, do a bit of working. So I've got x times by x to the half minus 2x to the minus half all squared equals to 0. So this is going to be x brackets. Now if I've got this bracket squared, mentally I've got this thing squared, so x to the half squared is just x. I will have this thing squared, which is going to be plus 4x to the minus 1, because minus the half squared is going to be minus 1 from the bracket rules. And then when I times these two things together, I'm going to have half plus minus half. When you add the powers, when you multiply the same base, it's going to be a 0. So I'm going to have minus 4 lots of x to the 0, which is just minus 4. Right. So when I times these all together, I'm going to have x times x, which is an x squared, x times minus 4, which is a minus 4x, and x times plus 4x to the minus 1 becomes plus 4. This is quite nice because this factorizes to x minus 2 all squared. So this will just give the result x equals positive 2. Yeah, seems legit. So we'll carry on. So that's for my part A. And then part B, express that nightmare in the form of a plus b root 2, where a and b are integers. Okay, so pretty standard. I'm going to multiply both sides by the denominator, but to make it a difference of squares. And in actual fact, I won't do it that way round because I want a positive number. So I'll actually times it by root 2 minus 1. Root 2 minus 1. And the reason I'll do that is because I will get on the bottom root 2 squared minus a 1 squared, which is just 1. And on the top, I'll have root 98. Well, root 98 is 7 root 2 if you think about it, because 98 is 49 times 2, and root 49 times root 2 is 7 root 2, and minus 8 if you think about it is 2 root 2, is it not? Because it's root 4 times root 2, and 7 root 2 minus 2 root 2 is 5 root 2, so actually this is 5 root 2 times by all of root 2 minus 1, so 5 root 2 times root 2 is 5 times 2, which is 10, minus 1 lots of 5 root 2, so the answer is 10 minus 5 root 2. Nice. And there you go.